Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into another edition of Beverly Baseball here. Guys, hasn't been long since we were back here again, and not quite as nice as it was yesterday. A bit more windy. Kind of feels like the end a bit of the game yesterday. But listen, you never know what you're going to get weather-wise this time of year, and I'll take this over plenty of other stuff. So the Panthers today trying to snap a 4-game losing streak as they take on the Saugus Sachems. Sachems coming in at 4-6. Your Panthers at 3-5. And Dominic Lorenzano, Al Visnick, and Rich Francis once again on the call for you guys. Not even a full 24 hours later from when we ended yesterday. And
yesterday was a long one.
It was a long one. And Al, losing 4 straight, trying to snap it here today. But you got the kind of guy that you want on the hill. They call them the stoppers a lot of time in baseball. A guy who can stop a losing streak, and that's Graham Gavin.
Yeah, Graham's certainly the ace of the staff, no question about it. Dom, he's among the North Shore leaders in strikeouts. He gets his outs, as you said earlier before we went on the air. Graham's only allowed 5 hits and something like 13-plus innings. So that's the guy you want to see on the mound, but, the story doesn't change. You need to score to win, You can throw a shutout, but you got to score to win. So that's what we're looking for today. There were some encouraging signs yesterday against Andover. Beverly put up a couple of 3-run innings, and they'll be looking to shut down the Sachems early. Their record a little bit deceiving, as you said. They come in at 4-6, 2-6 in the done. But 5 of those 6 losses were by 1 run, so they've been in a lot of ball games, and 2 of their wins are non-conference wins. So they are just behind us in the standings.
Indeed. And Rich, talk about maybe some bright spots and maybe give some guys a bit of a recap of yesterday's game for anyone who wasn't watching and tuning in today instead.
Yeah, the Panthers, they've been struggling at the plate, but they put up 6 runs yesterday against a pretty good Andover team. Cal McKay had a pretty good game at the plate, double walk, a couple of runs scored, RBI. Cal's one of the top run producers in the Salem News region. But look at these stats really quickly. He is tied at number 16 for runs scored in the Salem News area. Now, talking about the Salem News area, one of the things that we'd like to see more of is more guys' names in that Salem News when they do their area leaders. The Panthers, Cal offensively is the only guy you see there right now. But, I think as the weather starts to get warmer, that's when the hitters start to get in there. And so, you're going to see some of the hitters maybe get in there. We see a couple other guys. Teddy Fisher had a big game yesterday. Both, pitching came out of nowhere. The guy's a catcher, and he pitched, and we believe that's his first varsity experience pitching, but we're not sure. He had a pretty good game at the plate, so...
Johnny Reyes.
Johnny Reyes.
3 for 3 in a walk.
The Panthers had a couple of base running errors out there, but, that's the kind of stuff you can clean up. And, you get a Saugus team in here, and hopefully you right the ship, and then you pick up a game tomorrow against Danvers, which is also going to be another tough one. So, but right now, as we mentioned, we got Graham Gavin out there. Graham is a 3rd in the area with 29 strikeouts, and you mentioned the lack of hits given up. When he's got his control, he is a very difficult pitcher to hit against.
Indeed.
Nasty fastball.
Indeed. The control, the one thing that has been a bit of a bugaboo, but really hasn't stopped him much. The stats here, at least according to Max Preps, 14 and a third innings, 5 hits, 13 walks, 29 punch-outs, just 4 earned runs allowed, and a soft ground ball over to third. The third baseman has it on the first that he got him, and that is a beautiful start to the afternoon if you're Graham Gavin of the Beverly Panthers. And, no problem with... Is it too loud?
No, yeah, not really loud.
Well,
Okay.
With the wind, we're getting all kinds of issues.
Yeah.
We may, the first couple innings, have some audio.
Indeed.
Teddy Fisher making the play at third base.
Swing and a miss. Looked like something off speed from Gavin. And, 29 punch-outs, 14 innings. But with the situation that the Panthers are in right now, not a bad thing if Graham pitches to a little bit more contact today, because 3 games in 3 days, only so many pitchers on the roster. They would love if Graham could keep that pitch count down and go deep into this. High fly ball.
As Tom said, it's windy as
Connor Conley going over there. I think he got it, didn't he?
He did.
Nice play, battling that wind.
That was a very nice play by Connolly. And by the way, that was Sirocco who made the out. This lineup that will go against Graham, Gavin, Crawford leading things off in center field. Cam Sirocco, followed by Sirocco as well, another one, the catcher. Zeitz, the first baseman, batting 4th. Bloom in left field in the 5th spot. Rodriguez doing the pitching and also hitting 6th. Manzin, the right fielder. Bernard, the 3rd baseman. And rounding out the lineup, the 2nd baseman, Riley.
Microphones, I think it's actually affecting a lot of our audio. But you look at that flag, that thing's flapping.
Ground ball over to 3rd. That one hit much more sharply. Long throw, and he got him.
Teddy, great inning.
Teddy Fisher, a couple of nice plays over there at 3rd. A long throw and a 1-2-3 inning for Graham Gavin.
He had a lot of demands on his arm yesterday, both catching and pitching. So, boy, it's good to have a young arm. A nice throw across the diamond.
Normally we see Connor Connolly over at 3rd base. Connor's playing first base. From what we've seen the last couple of years, I don't ever remember seeing him at first base.
Yeah, you think he played earlier this year, no?
I haven't had a chance.
What did you have for pitches there, Rich? 6?
Try to turn mine down a little bit. I think it's this one.
As we mess around with
Guys, is this a little bit better? Or is that even louder?
That's even louder.
Okay. Let's go the opposite way.
No, that's loud.
That's still loud.
That's very loud, actually.
Oh my goodness.
For me, anyway. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
Picking up lots of
Oh,
ambience.
what happened there? That sounded good.
Does that sound better?
Oh, that's unbelievably better. Yes.
Yes, we're perfect. We're good. We're good.
Good.
Yeah.
We're where we need to be.
Thank you. Oh, my eardrums. Thank you. Yeah.
You're good with me, Andrew?
Yes, I'm good. Yeah.
All right, good. I'm going to try to make any of my colleagues here deaf.
Again, what's interesting is I hear you guys loud and clear. I don't hear myself.
Oh, you know what? I hear you because you're next to me. I don't hear you in my headset either.
Okay.
That's okay. I can hear Rich too. Let's just not mess with it.
Well, the question is, am I getting picked up on the camera?
That's true. I didn't think of that.
Okay.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, we had a little bit of technical difficulty, Tommy and I, with that a couple of games ago. All right, who do we have on the bump, Tom? Is it Mr. Rodriguez?
It is. Rodriguez is the man on the bump here for the Sachems. The lineup the Panthers will throw out against them, leading off Danny Pierce, Cal McKay after that, and Colby McLean, the DH. Teddy Fisher, who's over there at 3rd base, as you mentioned today, in the cleanup spot. Connor Conley over at 1st. Jonathan Reyes batting 6th. In the 7th spot, Peter Carnazzo. And then Micah McManus and Jay Bellew back behind the plate and hitting 9th today for the Panthers.
Slight correction, Tom. That would be Jonah. Jay is his dad.
Oh, okay. Jay Bellew.
And he'd be catching for Peabody. That's true. That's true.
I got to tell you, one of the great things I love to see this time of year, you see a father playing catch with his son behind the backstop there. No better thing during the springtime to see a little boy learning the game from his dad.
I love it.
Danny Pierce stands in against Rodriguez. He winds, fires, delivers, and that one missing low in the dirt for ball 1.
Danny led off yesterday's game with a base hit and came around to score the first run of the day for the Panthers. Oh, that's right. It was a walk because it was the talk about the walk and leadoff batter. You are correct.
Mm-hmm.
Picked up the outside corner. Looks like he has a good strike call for you there, Dom.
Much better than the last one, for sure.
I like that. The other guy was like he was trying to hide from us.
That one missing as well. I believe it's 2-2 on Pierce. That one missing as well, and I believe a full count here on Danny, the leadoff batter for the Panthers. Working the count early in this game against Rodriguez. Strike 3 on the outer half. I'm not sure Danny quite agreed with it, but it doesn't matter.
Again, you look at that flag, the wind is blowing straight in. Whereas yesterday it was blowing, and it may have actually helped some of the hits yesterday. Don't think it's going to help send the ball any further today.
No.
Although it may change. You never know.
Yeah, the wind was coming from a variety of directions yesterday. It seemed like it almost changed pitch to pitch.
Quite picturesque.
Swing and fouls that one back. McKay had plenty of hard contact yesterday. A number of Beverly Panthers swung the bat particularly well yesterday, but I think McKay one of the standouts. And that one plunks him.
Yeah, you don't want to swing at that. Gets you on base, helps your on base percentage.
It does indeed. Maybe they heard how he was swinging the bat. Maybe that's why he got plunked.
Tried to brush him back a little bit maybe and just ended up hitting him.
Brings up Colby McLean, the DH. Rich, did Colby had a big hit yesterday, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Drove in, I think he did drive in a couple. Fourth inning. Okay, so we still got some audio difficulty?
Well, I think the wind keeps drowning out
No, but
people's
I think
voice.
I'm having issues with
Yeah.
my mic in my own headset.
Yeah, I can't hear you either, other than I'm sitting next to you.
Yeah.
So Rodriguez misses high again, Dom. He's
Swung on a high fly into center field. Center fielder coming in, still coming in, and makes the catch.
You see that wind effect right there.
that brings up Teddy Fisher, the versatile young lad playing third base today.
All over the place. Playing catcher, pitcher, third base.
Swung on a slow roller. The first baseman has to go over, but he'll flip to Rodriguez, and they will make the out, and that will end the inning in the first. On to the second with no score here.
Nice play by Rodriguez getting over there.
And him for 12 pitches, Rich. What'd you have?
Yes, sir. Same here.
Yeah, pretty efficient start for both pitchers. Am I way too loud again?
Well, yeah, that one. You are. You're back.
I know. I am back.
I think it's your lack of being monotone. You're not monotone yet. Up and down, which is fine. I'm a little timid.
Al, is that better?
That's way much better, but
Okay.
now I can't hear myself anymore. So do you want to?
Yeah, well,
Take
we
a
got a
break
break.
and
If you
redo?
want to move stuff around, we can. Okay. All right, hey, I'm Rich Francis here on the game. Now I can actually hear myself.
Fantastic.
That's pretty good.
And this is Al Visnick, the
Oh,
Mo, Larry, Curly duo trio.
Dominic Lorenzano, and by the way, I'm just going to
Think about
continue.
This is perfect.
Well, listen,
Thanks, Chris.
I was just going to do play-by-play continuing, and I was like, you know what, I'll play along. I'll do my thing.
All right.
Oh, we thought you had to think about it.
No.
You were confused of the three names. Which one was yours?
No,
Fantastic.
no, that's not what it was.
There we go. Okay. I think we're all good.
We're better than good. We are fantastic.
Well, you know, we got Chris Harvey coming in. He's the chief here.
Heavy hitter.
He knows what he's doing. Whenever we get an issue, he's able to take care of it. We got the twin cams going today. We got the center field cam. Beth Francis on the center field cam. All right, so now we got Zeitz.
The first baseman.
Yep. The first baseman, Zeitz, followed by Bloom and Rodriguez. And ground ball over to second.
Oh, gets a
Second
nice hop,
baseman
too.
has it on the
Love
first.
that hop.
And for 2 straight innings, Graham Gavin has a 1-pitch out to start the inning. As we mentioned, Gavin can certainly rack up the strikeouts, but that also can rack up your pitch count. And it would be lovely today if he can keep that pitch count down with saving some arms. Because again, you guys will be back here again tomorrow.
That's out of play.
That one back and out of play. No track meet going on this time.
Just lacrosse practice.
Yep.
No danger at the starting line for the dash today.
Strike 2.
And we got Jonah Bellew behind the plate. Jonah came in partway through the game yesterday.
I thought it was Jay.
Jonah.
Jay's his dad.
Jay is his dad. Oh, I said Jay. It's
Yeah,
Jonah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you got it. It's another foul ball.
Yeah.
Speaking of Teddy earlier, I think we're having some audio difficulties with that. Rich, we're talking about his versatility, catching, pitching, playing third. Let's not forget he got re-entered as a pitcher. So he
Right,
came in
yeah, he pitched
in
he actually
relief of
pitched
himself.
twice. Yeah, I know. Yeah. You don't see that very often.
No, you don't.
Kid come out and then he goes back in.
Yeah, he pitched the 5th and 6th.
Yeah.
And then he came out, and then he came back in and actually recorded the 3 outs in the 7th. So
Fouled that one off again, so it remains 0-2.
So in a situation like that, if you have the lead and you come back in after somebody else, do you get the save, the win and the save?
yeah, I would guess. I don't know. You wouldn't find that in Major League Baseball
No,
rules
you wouldn't.
because
I
you
mean,
can't re-enter.
Right, exactly.
No.
You might see it in college or something, definitely in high school. But
Swung on, slow roller over to second. Pierce has it on the first, got him. Pierce getting plenty of work so far here early.
Yeah, Teddy got 2 in the first inning, didn't he? And Danny 2 in the second. So
yeah,
4 of the 5 outs are ground balls so far.
Connor Connolly's been busy over there. He's gotten the put out on all of these outs so far.
He also caught the pop out, second out of the inning in that win.
So all 5 putouts.
This is Rodriguez, so right now Gavin pitching to his counterpart. And Graham steps off, steps back in very quickly though.
Don't see a lot of pitchers hitting for themselves in the Northeast Conference these days.
No.
So Saugus elects to not use the DH. Good idea, just a little wide. Good waist pitch.
You know, it's funny, coming in, we're talking about Graham and the strikeouts. And, 5 batters, and he's not struck out any of them out yet.
No, he has not, but the control has been good. He's gotten ahead about just about everyone. Rodriguez fouls that one off back towards the street. Luckily, no car going by at the time.
Yeah, and Dom, like you had said, maybe a lot of strikeouts isn't what we want to see today because you want to keep that pitch count down.
He did 5 pitches, the batter before this. I think this is his 4th or 5th pitch of this at-bat. That one missing off the outer half.
Graham will be taking his baseball and hopefully academic talents to Bentley next fall.
Which, according to Mom and Gavin, is both a cursing and a blessing. Curse and a blessing. It's relatively close by in Waltham, but you don't get to see any interesting places going.
Yeah, having both of our sons playing college baseball in the city of Waltham, but not at the same school, somewhat unique.
That's funny. High, and that one missed. And as I said that, Gavin, of course, ends up walking the third batter of the inning.
Yeah, I think Ann was hoping for some kind of, really cool college town. Waltham's not exactly known as a college town, even though it's got a couple of colleges there.
Rich, what is the nickname of Waltham?
The Watch City.
Very good. I knew you'd know that. And why is that?
A lot of manufacturing of
Waltham watches.
Really?
Right, Waltham watches were very...
Okay.
I
like watches. Good to know. So here is the right fielder, Mason, standing in. Swing and a miss.
Way behind that.
As Gavin continues to at least pour in strike one on pretty much everyone he's faced.
And folks, as we like to often say,
Swing and a miss again. He's got a chance.
He got him.
Oh! Thought he had him. Good throw by Jonah.
Ump had him sliding underneath the tag. I did not think that he had gotten there quite yet, but...
So as I was saying, we don't always get the phonetic spellings from the coaches, so if we do butcher your child's name and your family name, we do apologize.
Gavin winds, fires on a high fastball, blew it right by him. There's the first strikeout of the game for Graham. He sets Saugus down in the second as well. On to the bottom half with no score still here.
15? And,
for the inning, right?
22 total?
22 total. Okay. I just tracked the totals.
Well, I got to use the same device for both pitchers, so I guess I could reset it.
Yeah.
But I don't want to get any tendonitis in my thumb, so.
Don't want those overuse injuries.
Yeah. How'd you get that tendonitis in your thumb? Well, I was working on the BevCam Sports Network 3 days in a row and charted 600 pitches.
Well, we did chart an awful lot of pitches yesterday.
That was a long day at the office for all involved yesterday. Andover getting here late, game starting about over more than half an hour late.
Yeah. Yesterday was one of those examples of it's a beautiful day, and then when it ended, it wasn't so beautiful. It was kind of cool and still warmer than most of our early April games that we tend to have, which we didn't really have many early April games at home.
Well, yeah, this is only the fourth home game of the season.
Yeah.
We had rain and
all
road games.
Our first game was over at Bulge Field because
it was too wet here. Right.
Brother Robert's field wasn't ready. We haven't had the opportunity to do a lot of softball games either.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I think we do next week.
Yeah, we do.
We've only done the one game? No, two. I think we've done two. Didn't we stand in a puddle because the rain was squishing up between our feet? That was against the Danvers.
Yeah.
And did we?
I've only done that one, I think.
I did one with Tom when you were away.
No, we did do one.
No?
It was a Marblehead, I think it was. Because they had the really good pitch.
No, the Marblehead game got moved to Marblehead because
that's right. Yep. Because the field was still underwater.
Masco game? No?
There's a strike from
I'm
Rodriguez.
pretty sure we did one other game. Yep.
And this
I
is
suppose I could look at the scoreboard.
Connolly standing in right now for the Panthers. 5, 6, and 7 to greet Rodriguez in the second. Connolly, Reyes, and Carnazzo. It's Carnazzo, honestly.
Carnazzo, yes. Yeah.
Good action on the breaking ball as he tried to front door him, but could not quite get it back to that corner.
Connor again using the math teacher's favorite bat.
Three and one. I thought that was ball 4. I must have missed the strike in there.
I think the first
pitch was a strike. Rodriguez poured in a first pitch strike, but nothing but balls since, as Connolly lashes that one foul
play
back
by
into
the
the
net.
screen. He did not have much room for error. That was near the end of the netting. full count pitch coming. Connolly right back up the middle on the ground and in the center field for a leadoff single.
That'll end any chance of a no-hitter.
Connor's starting to get his bat going a little bit. Had a big hit against Peabody. Can't remember what yesterday was, but that's a nice sharp base hit.
Indeed, worked the count full, got something to hit on 3-2 and sent it right back up the middle. And now Reyes is the man standing in. He goes to bunt, pretty good bunt down.
Get the
Pitcher
runner
has
over.
it, throws to first and got him there. Gets Connolly over to second.
Who fielded that, Rich? Do you remember?
Pitcher.
Yep. Good job by Reyes moving him over, and now it'll be up to Carnazzo.
Sacrifice bunt, gets him over, puts him in scoring position.
Playing a little small ball. As we've said many times in past broadcasts, Beverly is known for stealing third base, so Connor getting a little extra attention there. Not your optimal time to do it with a left-hand batter, however.
No. Right. That one in for a strike.
Unless your pitcher kind of gives it to you, but
Peter here, I believe, looking for potentially his first varsity RBI.
Yes.
Yeah.
High chop.
This one's a high chopper over to third. Connolly's going to break for third. The throw pulled the first baseman off, so he has to slap a tag on Peter, but he's able to get it done, and now there's two gone.
Nice play by the first baseman there.
Yeah, had to come off the bag and put the tag on it.
Connolly moves to third, though.
Very good base running by Connor. Give Micah McManus a chance to give the Panthers an early lead.
Micah hit the ball pretty well yesterday. Unfortunately, he didn't really end up doing much, but he hit the ball pretty hard.
He hit it to the wrong guy, Rich.
Yeah.
The more, I would say the more memorable of all of them was the infield drawn in, a sharp one over at Pulsifer, who had to make a diving play to stop it.
He also had a hard hit ball to center field that got tracked down as well. That we thought might have become something, but. As I look at the scoreboard,
Micah line drive into center field. That's going to drop, and it's a big two-out RBI single for Micah McManus, and the Panthers strike first. Just as you were talking about, Rich, she has been swinging the bat better, at least as of yesterday from what we saw. Just not a lot of luck, but it turns around here today as he's the man who draws first blood here today.
So now we got Jonah Bellew.
Rodriguez has missed quite a few pitches high when he's missed.
Doesn't always sort of follow through great on that delivery. It's a bit odd.
A lot of times, actually, when guys miss high, it's because they're overstriding. You might think they'd be getting lower, but it ends up elevating their arm.
Yeah. Let's see if they get aggressive here. The 2-0 count. Nope. 3-0.
So 3-0. Rodriguez losing the strike zone here to the number 9 hitter Bellew. And Jonah going to look at one there. 2 hits in the inning for the Panthers, leading to the first run of the ball game. Connolly led it off with a hit, and then Micah right before this. A 2-out RBI single in the center. And that one is lined in the left, but the left fielder has a beat on it. He doesn't get it. It's going to get behind him. Everyone off to the races. Are they going to send him? No, they are not.
Nope, no. Strong throw by the right fielder there.
Did not get away quite enough from the left fielder to be able to push the envelope like that.
Actually, that was the shortstop, Sirocco, making that throw. I I would say that was good base coaching by Coach Cahill.
I think it was too.
I think he was thinking initially we can.
Well, I think we probably all saw John starting the windmill.
Yeah.
But as he did that, he was drifting down the line and had enough time to read it and get it back. Really solid base coaching.
Yeah, that ball just did not trickle away far enough. I thought it was going to get further away, but it did not. So second and third now with 2 outs for Danny Pierce, and Danny looks at a breaking ball that buckles him, and I believe caught the plate.
Yeah, so with that dive, Bellew was able to get on second base.
That's a double.
Yeah.
Breaking ball again. That same thing started at Adam and had him break towards the inner half. Rodriguez snapping off 2 very good breaking balls here from Danny Pierce in this at-bat.
Gotta be careful of a ball in the dirt here.
And that one foul on third base.
3 breaking balls in a row.
Yeah.
Danny finding the mark here. Dom, you've been a pitcher on several levels. What do you do now? Do you change the eye level or stick with another curve?
I think I'm going to try to elevate a fastball up and out of the zone here after 3 straight breaking balls.
I like that plan.
Well, it was a fastball, just
Yeah,
pretty
no way I
wide.
would've
Not
done it.
close enough to entice him.
No.
Well, and the other thing is that breaking ball has been on the inside corner here. So let's see if he tries to throw it that same spot or go to the outside with the breaking ball.
Swing and a miss. I'm not exactly sure what that was. But it was
Was a
sort
breaking
of-
ball.
That's a breaking ball, I believe, as well.
It wasn't the bigger, slower one that he's thrown.
No,
most
that was
of
a
the
little
time.
tighter. Yeah.
Much more sharp on that one. But
Yeah, that one was on the outside half of the plate.
I had 22 for 34, Rich. Is that about right? What you had for? What'd you have?
Close enough. I had 32, so
Okay.
I might have missed something. I'll follow you on
So anyway, Rodriguez able to strand second and third, but the Panthers do strike first with the RBI hit by McManus, and lead now going into the third, 1-0.
The captains, Conley and McManus, linking up for the run to help their fellow tri-captain on the bump.
that. Sounds like an Irish law firm.
It does indeed.
It'll be 8, 9, and 1 here scheduled to face Graham Gavin, Bernard, Riley, and then back up to the top in Crawford.
Graham's had 22 pitches right now, so without trying to jinx anybody, looking decent right now so far. Got a nice crowd out there in right center field, it looks like.
Out in the sun, maybe sheltered from the wind.
Yeah, maybe so.
Unlike we are here at the top of the hill.
It's like a little tailgate out there.
So Saugus is going to come up here
That would
in
be
the top of the third, and the game is about 30 minutes old, and that's how long it took us to play the first inning yesterday.
No kidding.
And I want to say, what do we have, 22 and 32?
For pitches.
So
Pitches,
that's 54, and I believe 48 were thrown by the Andover pitcher in the first inning.
Yeah, sounds about
A
right.
little different pace of play so far.
Yeah.
Things can change in a minute.
Well, you know, Andover coming from a little bit farther away. Maybe pitcher yesterday, Core, had to shake off the grogginess because he did wind up pitching pretty well after that.
He did, indeed. Yeah, settle down.
All right, standing in now the third baseman, Bernard. Game scuffs a little dirt off the rubber there. And now winds and fires and lines this one over to second on one hop. Pierce has it and throws him out. So
Danny
3
Pierce, busy.
straight innings, 1 pitch, 1 out, and all to Danny Pierce.
Yeah, there must have been a scouting report that this guy's going to throw a first pitch strike, so start swinging away. But
Yeah, very often that's the best pitch you're going to see in the
right.
count, right?
Especially against a power pitcher like Graham. You don't want to get behind too much on him. So, you know, I look over at the scoreboard there, and they may want to just turn it off.
It's been like that the last 3 games.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening with it. It's only went in a year or two ago, didn't it?
Yeah.
Swing and a miss. You know, I've always believed, and hitting the scouting report matters. If I'm pitching, I don't care what the scouting report is on me until you've forced me to do something different. I'm not going to do anything different, and I hope Graham just keeps attacking first pitch fastball and worrying about that and strikes until they prove that they're going to do anything with it.
Well, if you're a good pitcher, it's about them trying to hit, right? And I think that's struck him out.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing that Sandy Koufax said.
Yeah.
That when I stopped trying to get them out, to paraphrase, instead force them to try to hit me, that's when he got good.
So quickly 2 down. That'll bring us back to top of the order. The center fielder Crawford grounded out to Teddy Fisher on the first pitch of the game.
That in for a strike as well. There's a breaking ball and a high fly. That's a tough play. The right fielder coming on.
McKay
Dives,
diving.
and he did not get it.
Foul ball.
Great effort, though, by Kel.
Yeah. That wind continued to just push that ball in more. And McKay laid out, could not quite squeeze it, though.
Yeah. That ball looked like it was going to drop behind Connolly there for a bit, and then it just went way foul. But McKay traveled a long way to get to that. It was a pretty good effort.
There was.
Again, Al, you mentioned he's one of the school record holders in the relay race, indoor track.
Swing and a miss. Got him. 2 punch-outs in that inning for Gavin. A very efficient inning as well. I'm not sure if he even hit double digits in pitch counts. He did. All right.
9,
that's
I
what
got
thought.
31.
Yep.
So a 9-pitch 1-2-3 inning featuring 2 punch-outs for Gavin. And on to the bottom of the third, still 1-0.
Yeah, we were lamenting the length of yesterday's game. Both of these pitchers trying to help us out with that so far.
Today, trying to stop our whining?
Yes, I think so. Well, you know, the other thing is when you're out there in the field, you don't like sitting through a long game either. I mean, it kind of changes, you know, it takes the wind out of your sails. That's when you start to see errors and, you know, sloppy play.
Indeed.
So Rodriguez, he's at, what, 34 pitches, we said?
Yes.
Yes.
In 2 innings, whereas Graham is 31-3.
Rich, I just discovered why we couldn't come up with the second softball game that we covered.
Why is that?
Because we didn't cover 2. We've only covered 1.
There you go. Must have been part of that visualization, visualization exercise that we did.
I think we were ready. We were ready to call the Marblehead game, and they took it on the road due to field conditions.
Yeah, we were all ready. You know, we had talked about it. We'd done some research on it, learned all about Tessa Francis.
That was a very ironic day because while Tessa Francis and the Marblehead girls gave Beverly their first blemish and their only blemish in the league to date with a 1-0 win, the boys baseball team did the same thing with a 1-0 win that day. Kind of ironic if you like numbers. And I accused you of being the Rain Man the other day. I can accuse myself right there.
Well, you know, as
symmetry.
As William Shatner said in Airplane 2, irony can be pretty ironic sometimes.
All right, Cal McKay is. I think he's 2-0, isn't he, Dom?
Yes, he is. McKay in the driver's seat here. And swung on, ground ball over to second. Second baseman has it, up with it.
Oh, they made that
we
close.
Almost beat that.
McKay busting it down the line and nearly was able to beat that one out. And I think certainly caught the second baseman by surprise.
Maybe the umpire, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cal always gives you that hard 90 down the line. That is for certain.
Colby lashes that one in the right field. The right
Over his
fielder.
head. No.
Oh, the right fielder. Not the most elegant angle at it, but it was able to bring it down for a second. I thought for sure for a minute that he had gone in too far as well.
Yeah, I think the wind probably knocked
Helped.
it down a little bit.
It did.
Maybe yesterday we saw Jonathan Reyes that went out that way and it just kept on traveling, got up in the jet stream.
Yeah, today, right now, is going to be the opposite of what we saw a lot of yesterday. This ball is going to die up in that outfield area, particularly with how high you hit it.
Teddy Fisher grounded out in his first at bat. Rich, I don't know if it's been done since, but there was a trivia question. Who was the last player to play all 9 positions in a Major League Baseball game? Or at least it was the answer when I was a kid growing up. Just thinking about Teddy playing 3 positions.
Yeah. Wasn't Mike Squire, was it?
I don't think
No,
so.
no, Squire, he played in the early 80s, I think. Was that a ball or a strike?
It was a strike.
Played for the Minnesota Twins.
Wouldn't have been, no, wouldn't have been Minnie Minoso.
No?
Tony
Coulda.
Oliva?
No. Played on the team with Tony Oliva. Maybe Minnie Minoso also overlapped.
That one missing high for ball 4.
I don't know.
And I'm going to give you the answer, and then I'm going to have to research it and make sure it's not one of those things that I think I know the answer to, but I don't. Did that ever happen to you?
No, never.
Never.
I know all the answers now.
So here is Connor Conley. He singled and scored already today, back in the second.
You know, Al, back in my high school coaching days, I had a player named Mark Santuccio who played all 9 in a game.
Wow. Were they 9 innings regular season games back then?
No, they were 7-inning games. What I did was, first inning, I put him in the outfield. And after the first out, he moved to center field. After the second out, he moved to right field.
So this was your intention the whole way to play him?
Yeah, it was last game of the season. He had pretty much played everywhere for me. And I said, you know what, Tooch, end of the year, I'm going to get you in at every position.
So you wanted to replicate the feat of Cesar Tovar.
Cesar Tovar.
When did he play?
You know, that was on the tip of my tongue.
60s, 70s with the Minnesota Twins.
Okay. That's a strike.
I would imagine you probably may have seen it at a minor league level. You know, try to have something happen. But major league, you're never going to see it in the majors now because, you know, it's not as fun as it used to be. Oh, wow. Big league.
Swing and a miss, elevated on a fastball and got Conley chasing, and that will do it for the Panthers in the third. On to the fourth.
49. So
Score
15,
hasn't changed here. Still 1-0.
15 pitch inning. 49. Wow.
Well, I don't want to say anything more about how quickly this thing's moving, so.
As he did.
I know.
I don't want to, but I'm gonna anyhow.
Oh, so by the way, tomorrow, game against Danvers. Right? We've got Beverly Youth night, day, time, whatever. So Thursday, May 1st, tomorrow versus Danvers, our youth night. The Panthers will be offering up Panther paw rubber bracelets, paw stickers, paw tattoos, and we found out about Dom's tattoos yesterday. And we're hoping the kids will want to run the bases at the end of the game. And on Beverly Little League's opening day, on Saturday, May 3rd, BHS boys will be collecting cereal for Beverly Bootstraps and also to be there to, be an inspiration to the young ones. So if you have some extra cereal laying around, or you want to go purchase some and help out some of the unfortunate folks who could use a little help, bring on some cereal down there.
Tattoo, Rich. I was told that it would fade too, and it didn't. Obviously, the way all these stories start, it was a girl.
I thought it was a drunken evening or something.
I mean, alcohol was involved.
This Cam Sirocco now. That's going to be out of play.
That is. I completely lost that one.
I
It
did
ends
too,
up hitting
yeah.
the house.
I actually followed Connor Connolly's eyes when he started looking that way.
Gavin turns, delivers, and a hard ground ball over to Reyes at short. Up with it. Throws. Connolly could not pick it. Gets away from him. Sirocco headed to second.
Ooh, good backup.
And he is in sliding safely. And Saugus, with their best scoring chance so far today, having the leadoff man now at second.
Good hustle by Jonah.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, Sirocco is still able to get second base. And I would assume this is his brother,
Yes, that's my assumption as well.
the catcher.
We have it listed as M. Sirocco.
So could be Nick, could be Noah, I don't know.
Nigel.
I don't think it's
I
Nigel.
doubt it's Nigel. I'm going with Nick. Nick Sirocco sounds like a
That sounds what
good,
it would be.
good name. Yeah.
Strike.
Sirocco's a name we've been calling, it seems like, for the last 8 years.
Oh, he's got
Got
him.
him going.
They have Sirocco in a rundown. Gets him to turn his back, now flips it over to third, still going, but he's going to get him in the end, and a break for the Panthers as they catch Sirocco in a rundown, and now base paths are clear and one out in the inning.
Yeah, Graham had a slow delivery there, and I don't know if he was making the turn or if he saw the guy getting off, so he just kind of went with it. Did a nice job not getting a balk on that.
I know. We saw that happen yesterday.
Yeah.
Where the guy did not get off the rubber correctly, and it was a balk. It ended up leading to a Panther run.
I got that 1 to 5 to 6 to 1
Okay.
for those of you scoring at home.
And
He just kind of reaches out and not going to be able to get that over the second baseman, Pierce, though, who's able to run it down, and now there's two gone in the inning.
I just wrote a CS out there. Got stealing. That's all.
Okay. Took the easy way out.
Yeah.
Mm.
We don't do that in Malden. And speaking of the Golden Tornadoes, they're having their best season in recent memory. I think they're 11-1 right now, or
Wow,
really?
9-1.
Which, by the
Sitting
way,
atop the GBL.
is one of the better school nicknames
Oh, yeah.
in Massachusetts. Malden known for cyclonic action?
Don't think so.
This is one of those things that I'm going to tell you a story, and I don't know if it's
Okay.
true or not, but I believe it to be true.
Zeitz lashes this one foul back towards the road.
Back in the last century, I believe in the 30s and 40s, high school football teams went to bowl games.
Yep. Right.
And it was somewhat of a tradition that if you beat the opposing high school, you would take their nickname.
Really?
And I think that they went to the Gator Bowl.
Strike three as Gavin gets him looking. 3 punch-outs in the last 2 innings for Graham, and another efficient inning out of Graham.
Yeah, I got him for 11 pitches at only 42 for the game.
Beautiful, beautiful thing. But Al, I'll get back to you on the Golden Tornadoes and the way things used to be in high school bowl games.
I like that. You lose your name. What do? Do you come up with another name, or do you?
Now, I'm less confident about that story than I am about Cesar Tovar.
So, speaking of golden nicknames, a couple of years ago, we had mentioned Jay Bellew. We were together in the outfield watching Peabody play Beverly, talking with Cal McKay's grandfather, Ed Armstrong. He was telling us that when he played, Beverly High School was the Golden Horde.
I mean, I like that more than Panthers, I'll be honest with you. Golden Horde is awesome.
Now, there are no large black felines indigenous to New England. So Panthers is a peculiar name anyway. But there are also no Mongols running around New England either. So the Golden Horde may not necessarily work. But I do like the name, and it would make for a great logo.
It would.
So
I thought you were going to say that we used to be like the Sailors or the Pirates.
No, the Golden Horde. And I don't believe the colors were black and orange. I think they were blue and gold.
Something tells me that
that's Malden High School's colors.
Something tells me no high school really wants to be the Pirates.
I don't know. If you're a seaside town with a history like that, it could work for you.
Guys, want to take a quick segue back?
East Carolina University.
That's a
the
college.
Pirates.
That's a college.
That's true.
I kind of want to take a quick
looking up a
segue
little
back, and I just like
Sartova?
that on September 22nd, 1968, Cesar Tovar played all 9 positions and led the Twins to victory.
Swing and a miss on that breaking ball.
Cesar Tovar's nickname was Pepito and Mr. Versatility from Caracas, Venezuela.
Pepito.
I'm wondering if he's related to Ezekiel Tovar or not. Probably not.
Hey, he can't make the play.
I know.
That was going to be a tough play anyway.
Yeah, he had booked it out of the box well, and that thing was hit slow enough that it was going to be a tough play on the throw.
Now, Al, I know you're a tough scorer.
I do keep a tough book, Rich, and as much as I love my hometown boys, I have that scored as an E.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, John.
So Peter Carnazzo.
All right, so let's see. We're going to try to move this guy over. See if he's going to bunt him or try to steal or just let Peter swing away.
John has good wheels, so maybe it's going to be a steal and then go from there. We'll find out.
Well, this guy certainly likes to throw that breaking ball a lot. That's always better for you to run on.
Carnazzo's got a nice little gap out in the right center. Put a charge into one.
That would have been a good pitch to go on.
Yeah, you think? So, did we ever find out what happened with the coach in the game yesterday?
Oh, no, whether he... Yeah, we think he got ejected, but no, I did not find that out. That's high.
That's a breaking ball that never really made it back to where it was supposed to be on the outer half and down.
2-1 the count. Stiff wind blowing in from center. As you see Old Glory out there.
Swing and a miss. Peter might have stepped in the bucket a little bit on that one.
Yeah, we saw him hit one well to the other side yesterday.
Oh, there he goes. And he hits that one back to the pitcher who has it, throws to first and got him.
Well, took away any possibility of a double play anyway.
And got the guy in the scoring position as well. No force out, anything like that, as you mentioned. So, man now at second with one away. And here is Micah McManus, the man responsible for the only run of the game so far.
The only issue on that play was I think he was going to be able to stand up with the stolen base.
Yeah.
So he doesn't get the stolen base. Get the first baseman playing in real tight, thinking bunt.
Oh, he lost the ball.
Yeah.
Needs a little bit of help. Third baseman stayed home, though.
Yep.
See if that was intentional. Wouldn't be surprised if that was just to see if they could get third with the third baseman charging.
Yep. Nobody hold.
There he goes. That's a good pitch to
Gets
throw
himself a
on,
nice jump.
but he's in there standing again.
He got himself a great jump on that.
Oh, he did.
Well,
he did.
There's the stolen base.
He did get a sensational jump, but that throw, I mean, that pitch was a pretty good one to throw on, but clearly he was, Reyes wasn't very concerned as he didn't even slide.
All right, infield's in.
It's the only third base with a left-handed batter.
So that's going to open some things up for Micah, but take some other things away. So let's see what happens here.
Micah swung on and fouls it off. I believe the count is 2-1 though, so Micah's still in the driver's
With
seat.
that breaking ball, Reyes has to be ready to bolt. We've seen a few go into the dirt there. Get yourself a nice lead in foul territory right up.
That's right.
There's that breaking ball in the dirt, as you mentioned. Nicely smothered, though.
3-1.
Hitters count.
Soroka with a very good job to smother that one. And that one misses for ball 4, and Micah will draw the walk. So now men at the corners.
Let's see if he keeps running. Nope.
Yeah, I was wondering if he was going to do that.
I can't imagine he's going to stay in first base for long. Maybe I see the Saugus catcher stepping out in front of the plate to call his defensive signals, expecting Beverly to run on this. See if they have some kind of play on John Reyes. Needs to be careful to make sure that he doesn't get too far away.
May see a little decoy third to first.
So Jonah at the plate, men at the corners, and one away.
Pulls it back.
Shows bunt and pulls it back, and that one missing off the outer half.
Got a lot of movement going on, a lot of things happening here. Putting a little pressure on the defense.
Goes on this. Nope.
Did not, and that one missing high and away. And you can play all the games you want, but if you're not going to throw strikes, it does not matter. And right now Rodriguez struggling with the strike zone a little bit. Walking McManus, and now 2-0 on Bellew.
Yeah, Bellew had that double last time at bat. Not doing it.
Nothing.
That was a ball. So ball 3.
So Micah taking second, no throw back to the pitcher, nothing at all. But 3-0 now, and Rodriguez in danger of loading the bases and turning the lineup over. And he went to a breaking ball in order to get a strike.
All right, so they get the middle infielders playing back now.
Playing for, well, he can't play for 2 in the middle.
Giving up
nobody on first.
Giving up the run in the middle.
That's a strike as well, so now it's a full count, 3-2.
One out, second and third.
So yeah, as you said, in at the corners, but normal up the middle.
Probably ball 4, but that was a little too close.
Yeah, you got to.
That's a good job of getting a piece of that. That was up tight in his hands. And
get Danny Pierce on deck.
No idea what he's going to get 3-2 as Rodriguez has thrown that breaking ball in all sorts of counts. And he throws a fastball that misses for ball 4.
And there's your quad, Phyllis.
Yep.
And we're going to have a meeting at the mound here, but the bases are going to be loaded for the top of the Panther order, Danny Pierce. And still only 1 out in the inning. 1-0 still the score, though.
So back to the top of the order with Danny. He struggled a little bit so far, but now he's seen him a couple times. And he's going to be looking to make some contact early here, I think.
And Rich, Dom, I can't quite see. Did they put in a courtesy runner for Jonah I don't think that's Jonah on first, right?
Yeah, I think you are correct. You can't see the number.
Yeah, the pole is in my way, so I cannot see anything at all, actually, when it comes to having a runner at first.
Yeah, that doesn't look like Jonah.
No.
No.
All right, so you just walked 2 guys in a row.
That might be Mikey O'Leary, maybe.
Do you tell Danny to take a couple pitches? You let him swing away?
He's top of the order, right? I mean, you got to just trust the guys, I feel like.
I think, he has struck out twice.
Yep.
I don't think that you want to get him to think about anything other than get a pitch, see it. Pitch.
Yep.
That's my philosophy.
I agree.
And once again, Rodriguez falling behind, though, as that one missed. And 1-0 on the Beverly second baseman, Danny Pierce, and that one is in for a strike.
But as we were saying that question, if the pitcher doesn't throw strikes, then you don't swing the bat. So we'll find yourself a good pitch, Danny, and hit away. 2-0.
No, I think it's 2-0.
I think it's, 3-0.
Oh, it is
Just
3-0.
put
Never
up-
mind, he didn't call it a strike. Okay, I thought he had.
So
Danny will
3-0.
probably be taking this one anyway.
Yeah, it's automatic. I think you have to. I think if you're hitting 600, you're taking this one.
I would agree. Bases loaded, so Rodriguez has nowhere to put him. 1-0 still to score. Beverly in front. 1 ball away from being up 2-0, and there it is.
Danny Pierce with the RBI.
Picking up the RBI.
Ball 4. Rodriguez walks him, walks in a run, and it's 2-0 Panthers.
Danny picks up the RBI without really not having to do much.
No. And now that brings up Cal McKay with the bases still loaded.
And still 1 out.
Yeah. Panthers with a chance now to really do some damage. Cal McKay swats that one foul over in the left field.
Cal didn't feel like waiting.
No.
He did not.
Saw a good pitch, just couldn't get on it.
Yeah, there's the philosophy, right? He just threw 4 pitches in a row and walked a batter in. Should he take one? But I think that the way that the guys have been struggling to produce runs, I don't have a problem swinging at a good pitch.
That one missed, 1-1.
Well, and you have to, you have to be ready, right? Pick your spot. And, you get yourself a little spot that's where you like it. If it's there, you swing away. Otherwise, just take it. Just be patient.
McKay, hard ground ball over to
Play.
first. Has it, throws to home. Now over to first. Not in time, I don't believe. It's not. So Saugus able to cut the man down at home and keep this game at 2-0 for now, and now 2 outs in the inning. And now this becomes so big for so many reasons. Obviously, the Panthers like to extend the lead, but for Saugus, when you're going up against another team's ace as good as Graham, who's been on so far, 2-0's okay. 3 or 4, starts to seem pretty hard against someone like this going today. So
Colby has hit the ball well today, just both at the center fielder and the right fielder. Let's see if he can find some green grass.
scoring has been a struggle at times for Beverly, but they got a number of runs yesterday and also today a big 2-out RBI hit. So the 2-out RBI hits have been coming here the last 2 days, it seems like, and Colby trying to add to that trend here. Oh, man, and that one misses backing up over his head.
Trouble.
That is trouble at home. He can't make it.
To...
Now it squirts away past the pitcher's mound. No further advance, but it's 3-0 Beverly on the wild pitch. Looks like
and I am going to confirm
they had time to actually still cut him down at home,
that was
but just
O'Leary.
unable to handle the throw was Rodriguez.
Yes, that was, I'll confirm, that was Mike O'Leary scoring as the courtesy runner for Jonah Bellew there. Second and third, 2 outs.
Panthers stealing an extra run right there. McLean looks at one on the outside corner.
Yeah, we talked about Rodriguez, the high release and throwing the ball high a lot. That one really climbed up there.
Oof.
That almost hit him.
Yep.
And that one misses ball 4 as well. So Rodriguez has really lost the strike zone here in the 4th.
Yeah, it's his 4th walk of the inning.
Reloads the bases.
Yeah, I have him so far as a 31 pitch inning, which has him up to 80 pitches.
Oh.
I don't know how close I am to the outcome, Rich, but
So now Teddy Fisher. Oh my goodness.
and he hits him.
And
Good.
that one just right at him, and he plugs him, and it's going to be 4-0 Beverly.
That's a little more painful RBI than Danny's.
Yeah.
Well, you know what, though? You're willing to take it.
We got ice.
There was no running away from that one for Fisher. That's as much as right at you as that could be. That was dead center mass. Fisher couldn't have moved either way.
Okay. Connolly up.
Ticonderoga pencil comes up to the plate.
So Connolly now at the plate. And Connolly ground ball over to third. That's foul. Ground ball foul again off that third base side.
Connor is the 9th batter of the inning for the Panthers.
An inning in which they have scored 3 runs already. Mostly courtesy of Rodriguez losing the strike zone. And Connor lashes that one past the shortstop. That's going to get down. They're going to send the next man here with 2 outs. Sirocco didn't even try. He might have had a play on him, but does not matter in the end. And 2 runs score on the RBI knock by Fisher.
Connolly.
Not Connolly. No, Connolly got hit. Oh, yeah, no, I'm sorry. Fisher got hit. Fisher got hit. The Ticonderoga pencil.
That's right.
John,
The pencil's working. The pencil's working magic. I'll tell you that.
Cal McKay and Colby McLean come in to score.
And that's probably going to do it for Rodriguez here. And he pitched pretty well through the first 3. And as we mentioned, sort of just lost the feel of the strike zone in the
Wheels
4th.
came off the bus.
Yeah. 5 runs so far.
And Rich, I'm sorry to inform you that one of your least favorite things of all time.
I have to
it's for a good cause, though.
In the box.
You have to move over because they've hit around. But it's because that the Panthers are scoring runs. So I think you're okay with that.
You got to take it as it comes. So that will not close the book on Rodriguez because he's still got a couple of runners out there.
Yeah, the men at first and second, he is still responsible for. And
see.
tell me when you can see the number.
27. I think it's the first baseman, isn't it?
That's the first baseman, Zeitz.
Yes.
So we got a new first baseman. So we're going to have to look for, it looks like number 5.
Big right-hander Zeitz.
So
he throws the ball like a right-handed Oliver Perez.
Okay, so the first baseman is now Bloom, who was in left field. So now, did they send Rodriguez out to left, or did they bring someone in for him?
Yeah, I do not know. They got 3 guys kneeling out there. One kneeling, standing.
Six to 0.
6-0 Beverly. Had someone watching who asked us to score. Confirmation. It is 6-0 Beverly. 5 runs here in the 4th inning for the Panthers, and still men at first and second with 2 away.
So Zeitz has a little bit different motion than we saw with Rodriguez. He's got that big sweeping motion.
Like I said, it's right-handed Oliver Perez.
Okay.
I feel like most people who watch baseball should know who he is. He had a career forever. He was part of those Giants. I think he was part of the multiple Giants teams that won a championship. He might have had a short stint with the Sox, but I'm not sure. But again, one of those left-handed relievers that just sticks around forever.
Yeah.
plays for a third of the league, you know.
Back to Jonathan Reyes, who started this mess from the Saugus perspective, but this very solid inning for the Panthers offense. John Stodd reached on an error, came around to score, had stolen third base as well.
Third base is open, and the runner on second.
Oof.
Thinking about it.
I'll tell you, his ball has some crazy tailing action, actually.
Yeah,
That
I
backed
noticed
up.
that during his warm-ups. Ball really tails inside on the right-handed batter.
Oh, what was that?
I know. Okay, so he stepped off the rope.
I
Looked like
guess.
he kind of lost his footing there.
I know. So 1-0 on Reyes. Zeitz wheels and deals on a ground ball over to
Soroka.
short. He has it. It's going to be a
Tough
long
play.
throw.
Comes off the
and
bag.
he's
Came off
safe.
the bag.
The first baseman came off the bag, and the nightmare inning will continue for Saugus.
Don't know if he would have beat that out,
I don't think he did. It was close, but I don't think he did.
but I don't know if that error is on the shortstop.
I thought the throw was up the right field side, no?
I think the first baseman came off. I think he might have been able to stretch on that.
I thought he could have too,
Okay.
but it's one of those you might have to go back and rewatch
Yeah.
for a final verdict.
So Reyes reaches base twice on errors this inning. I do think in the book you have to go E6, just because the throw did pull the guy a bit.
Peter to the plate and swing and a miss there as well. So 0-2.
But I'm a strong critic of first baseman too. So.
No, that's okay. Yeah, first baseman can save so much, you know, for
Yeah.
their infielders. Taking the angle on the stretch, digging balls
Yeah,
out. Yeah, I think it's an underrated position, to be honest.
I'd have to agree. I mean, I was a first baseman, but I'd have to agree with you. That's going to be a tough play in this win.
I know.
Everybody's
coming in. Zeitz, the pitcher, is the one who has to
to
make the play and finally put an end to the inning for Saugus, but not before the Panthers break things wide open there as they score
5 times.
5 times
make it 6.
to make it 6-0, and a lot of it coming via the walk, a hit by a pitch, and the big hit Connolly, a 2-run single. And he smashed.
And the only hit.
And that was the only hit of the inning. You're right.
Two errors, hit
That he
batter,
lined-
4 walks,
Yeah.
and 1 hit.
Yeah, that he had lined past the shortstop in the left field. And now Graham Gavin, who has been going on at such a very nice tempo, we'll see how he does do here after being in the dugout for as long as he was.
Yeah, I know, like with professionals, they probably have an exercise bike in the dugout or whatever, but a case like this, Graham was probably just sitting there. Although, you know, Graham, as I was saying to you guys before the game, he's got like a whole routine that he does beforehand. So I wouldn't be surprised during that time if he went into the bullpen and did some exercises.
Maybe as well. And obviously, it doesn't really matter. You'll take the all the insurance runs that you can get. But, you know, like we said, when you are going along just mowing down guy after guy at a nice, even tempo, sometimes it can screw with you a little bit.
Yeah, but having it 6 runs instead of 1, I think, is probably a good trade-off.
Oh, absolutely. That's what I said before I said this. I was like, not that it matters, because you'll trade all the runs in the world for.
Yeah, and we'll know what the first batter.
I mean,
if
you
it
won't
really
you
did
won't trade all the runs in the world. I'm saying. But.
Yeah, and as you said, he's been very efficient. He's only faced 1 batter over the minimum due to that nice pickoff play.
Yeah.
So we've seen a pickoff of runners at second base 2 days in a row.
Yeah.
Pulled off by the Panther pitching staff.
I think high school teams, they like to get aggressive on the bases, and if you can have a nice little second base pickoff move, get a guy leaning.
It'll be 5, 6, and 7. Bloom, Rodriguez, and Mason, and a big swing and a miss on a high fastball. Flash that one foul towards the track, right in the center almost of that field.
Bloom's one of those guys who grounded out early in the game. Second inning. Ground out to Danny Pierce.
Just his second at bat here.
Struck him out.
Strike 3 got him looking. 3 pitches and another punch out for Graham.
For you kids at home, that's a backwards K. And we see again another one of Beverly's biggest sports fans, Jack Dean, now in the house.
How many baseball games do you think Jack Dean has watched in his lifetime? Played in and watched.
Played, coached, watched. I mean, just his Little League coaching has to be in probably the thousands at this point.
Strike 2.
How many stories do you think he's heard from Richie Lentz in all those days?
That's true.
Swing and foul tipped caught by Bellew, and there's another punch out for Gavin. And so far, the extended time on the bench seems to have had absolutely no effect on Graham.
You know what I'd like to see, Al, is Tommy Donovan and Richie Lentz just sitting at a bar talking sports.
Telling stories.
Telling stories. Who would get more words in? That's what I'd like to know. I missed that first pitch. Was that a strike?
Fouled straight back by Mason.
Jonah couldn't get it, so Coach Cahill came out of the dugout to get it. Yeah, I drove by Harry Ball on my way here. Speaking of Little League, it looks absolutely beautiful.
I saw that too. When I drove by, the truck was just leaving, and it does. It looks fantastic. Todd Rushton and the boys always do a great job on the field in the city. That one got away. That just reminded me of that pitch there. We lost a great baseball announcer over the winter, Bob Euchre.
Yep.
We did indeed. What a funny, funny guy.
Speaking of storytellers, he was one who could spin a yarn.
Swing and a miss. It's a second.
I think that's 2-2.
Sometimes we get excited for those second strikes.
I know, I thought it was 3 for half a second.
I thought that was going to be 3 right there.
I know.
When I was in 8th grade, I read Bob Euchre's autobiography, Catcher in the Rye.
Really?
W-R-Y. Catcher in a Rye or the Rye? A Rye.
All right.
W-R.
It would be all right, wouldn't it? Because Catcher in the Rye is the J.D. Salinger.
Yeah, but it was spelled differently. W-R-Y.
Fouled that off as well. So at the very least, Mason at least making Graham work a little bit.
Really funny book.
Much funnier than the other one.
Yeah. Not a fan of J.D. Salinger?
I was not.
That was forced reading in some level of...
He was a bit of a whiner for me. I enjoyed actually reading. I liked plenty of the books I read for school, but that was not one of them.
We had a full count.
About chapter 4, he was an individual I'd like to just hit over the head.
Maybe that's why it resonates so much with high school students, because so many of them are whiners.
I don't think they are.
You don't work with them like I do, Doug.
Swing and a miss, strike 3, and Gavin strikes out the side in the 5th. And Graham did not have the strikeout pitch going early in the game, but has started to rack them up like we've expected, like we've come to expect with him as this game has gone on.
Yeah, didn't really need it in the first couple innings.
But even with the racking up of the strikeouts, I'm pretty sure that pitch count is still in a pretty good spot.
I'm at 57 through 5.
Yeah, as do I.
Can't complain about that.
No, not at all.
So 57 pitches for Graham Gavin through 5 shutout innings.
7 strikeouts he's up to.
And guys, why, again, for anyone who didn't listen in yesterday or didn't tune in at the beginning of this game, you know, why are we so obsessed here with the pitch count of it for Graham Gavin? Not that we always talk about pitch count, but caring that it could be as efficient as it is right now.
Yeah, well, today especially because they used so many pitchers yesterday, and they do have another game tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the 3-day in a row is very difficult. Mm-hmm. So as we saw yesterday, I would think that probably the only guy who isn't eligible to pitch, and it might be on your lineup card there, Dom.
Yeah, I have Fisher and Connolly who are not eligible to pitch.
Today,
Okay.
But I don't think Connolly threw that many
so
pitches.
He should be ready tomorrow.
He had a rough inning, though.
Yeah, but he only threw about 20.
I thought he was right around 30. No?
Can you pitch the very next day after 30 pitches?
6 maybe?
Well, I thought it was.
I thought he could pitch on Thursday, but I don't know.
I think 25 is the limit, so you have to sit out a day after 25.
Gotcha.
Well, all I know is on my sheet here, I have
Fisher and Connolly.
Connolly and Janest are not eligible.
Oh.
Right, yeah.
Okay. So they should all be good to go tomorrow.
For today.
Yes.
That's why, again, this is Graham going deep in the game here.
Fisher may not
At
be able to go 2 days. But
at 57 pitches and 6 outs away from victory. Hopefully he can finish this game up, and they'll only have him not eligible tomorrow.
I mean, if he can do the by-inning pitch count the way he's been going, he should be fine.
All right, we got Micah McManus leading off here in the 5th. Rich, don't forget your
high
scoreboard.
fly in the left field. The left fielder really had to take off.
Makes the play. Nice play.
At first, a bit casual, and then looked like he didn't get the read he wanted. He had to start to put on the afterburners, but he gets there in time.
Yeah. Micah has the go-ahead run so far in the game.
Yeah.
The RBI.
The RBI.
Yes. Yeah, okay. RBI, I'm sorry.
This brings up Jonah Bellew. Jonah has doubled and reached on a walk and scored a run. And I think he's a little hard here with the windscreen, but I do think that he's picked 2 foul tips for strikes.
Oh, where is that one?
You know, it's funny. I was actually just about to say Zeist does not look like a fun at bat for a right-hander.
Oh, yeah.
And then he has a fastball as he cross-arm delivers it, just goes straight into Bellew's back.
Yep.
We'll have Mike O'Leary run again for Jonah.
Right in the middle at number 6.
He hit the target.
Yeah. Brings us to Danny Pierce.
Back at the top of the lineup now, Danny Pierce.
Who had the big RBI last inning.
There's a strike.
RBI on a walk.
I would be interested to see his numbers. Interested why maybe he didn't start today. Because I'll tell you, he looks tough.
He has quite a high leg kick out here in the stretch, doesn't he?
Should be able to steal on that leg kick, though.
Yeah. Good hard fastball with good late movement.
Yeah, and like you said, Dom, with that tail, for a right-handed hitter, you really got to be on your toes.
Swing and a miss as he just bores that one in on Pierce's hands.
That's a tough one, down and in. It's a very difficult spot to hit.
Yeah, you really can't dive into the swing on this kid.
No. And then he throws that little slider, that one in the dirt, though, and Danny was not enticed at all. And that one hit on the ground, and the third baseman can't come up with it. The shortstop with a long throw, and no way he's going to pull that off with Danny Pierce running.
Pierce will pick up the base hit. It was O'Leary will move to second.
Really, the only chance on that play was if the third baseman was going to be able to squeeze it, cutting off the shortstop. The minute the shortstop had to make that play, there really was no chance to throw out Danny.
He did make it close, though. He made a good throw.
He made it closer than I thought he was going.
Yeah, I thought he was just going to eat it, fake it, and try to get the guy at second. Cal McKay now.
Let's see, Cal's been hit by a pitch, grounded out to second, and reached on a fielder's choice and scored a run.
Call that a ball?
I think so.
I didn't see a hand motion.
Yeah, that time. And it's getting lazier as the game goes on.
Shortstop making a lot of gestures over there. Ball 2.
2-0.
Oh, yeah, so it is 2-0. Oof. The 2-0 and just power from Zeist as he gets it by McKay.
McKay had some plans on that pitch.
He did.
He didn't get cheated.
No.
He really doesn't seem to get cheated on many swings.
We're nowhere close and 3-1.
I think Coach Cahill telling the runner on second, be smart out there.
Way outside.
That one not really close, and looked like maybe Zeist had some trouble there locating to a left-handed batter. And now the bases are loaded.
That is Cal's second walk of the day.
A familiar situation for the Panthers now in the last 2 innings. The bases being loaded.
Whole infield is in, trying to cut it down, keep the score where it is.
Colby McLean's up. The DH has flown out to center, flown out to right, and walked and scored a run back in the fourth.
Let's be cycling through all the pitches.
There's the slider. Snapped off a good one right there.
Sides could really use a strikeout right here, that's for sure. Get a timeout. Probably trying to cycle through the pitches because the runner on second base.
Is he afraid that he's going to give away the signals, the signs?
Sometimes you think a little too much in this game.
Oh, that was a defensive swing with 2 strikes to stay alive.
Sometimes thinking is overrated in this sport now.
Ask Manny Ramirez. It's a very cerebral game.
Yes.
Ooh.
What's the yogiism on that one? 80%?
90% of the game is half mental.
Yeah, right.
I don't know if it's Yogi who actually said that. I think it was another baseball player.
Oh, really?
Read Yogi's autobiography. Well, his biography. His autobiography.
I was going to say,
I don't
I'm
think
not trying to
Yogi's
hear.
read-
I'm not trying to read a book that Yogi wrote.
Again, a lot of great stories. Oh, that's
And
gonna
he just
drop
kind of
down.
bailed and then was able to get the
It's
bat
gonna
on it. That's
drop.
going to
Run
drop
scores.
down in the left field. 1-run scoring.
Strong throw.
Good job at hitting by Colby.
That really was.
He kept the barrel of the bat back long enough to get it through the zone and just hit that flare into the outfield. That's a nice piece of hitting.
You can get fooled on a pitch, but if you do good enough to at least make contact, good things can still happen. And that's certainly what happened there for Colby. And as you mentioned, a very nice job of keeping the barrel back.
This brings up Teddy Fisher.
Washington. 7-0. The score now. The Panthers in front.
Teddy sacrificed his body with a hit by pitch to gain an RBI last at bat.
He lashes that one deep but foul over the left field side.
The wind has died down a little.
It has.
Of course, that's also coincided with the slowdown of the game.
Strike 3 got him looking as he painted the lower half outside corner. And that's the second out of the inning, I believe.
Second out of the inning.
Yeah.
Connor Connolly coming back up now.
Connor singled and scored the first run of the game in the second inning. Struck out and then had a 2 RBI base hit in the beginning in the fourth. Has an opportunity to add to that total with another hit here. Or a walk. Or a hit by pitch.
Yeah. With 2
Variety
outs, the
of ways.
runners will be going too, so. Tough breaking ball.
Yeah, back-to-back breaking balls from Zeiss. The first one did not quite get back to the...
he didn't call that a strike, did he?
No, he did. He did.
Oh, he did. No.
Yeah, 1-1. 1-1. The first one did not quite get back to where Zeiss needed it to be for it to be a strike, but the second one certainly did. That one in the dirt. A nice job by the catcher to block that.
Sorgo's done a nice job with a lot of these balls in the dirt today.
He really has, and the one that got away for the run was in no way his fault at all. That one was up and well out.
It was an 8-footer.
Yeah. He would need to bring a pickup truck over to have blocked that one.
Yeah. Another RBI is third of the day.
So ball 4, and Connolly that time draws the walk in the RBI. And I don't know if he's talking to him or if we're going to have another pitching change.
Pierce
looks like we're going to have another pitching.
Yeah, Pierce has scored. We should have Connolly, McLean, and McKay on the bases.
We're going to see another switch.
Yep.
And now that we're in the 5th inning and the Panthers are up 8-0, what is the mercy rule? 10?
10 after 5. Yeah.
So.
Do they get an at bat though?
Yeah, I would think
and
so.
Then they call it, right?
But this is only the
bottom of the 5th.
Bottom. Oh, no, actually, with the home team. I think 2 runs would walk it off.
If the home team scores,
I think it's over.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I believe
so.
Okay.
Because Saugus has already batted 5 times.
Correct.
Oh, is that how it goes? I didn't know if they let him hit one more time and then called it.
No. Once the home team has their 5th at bat and scores, as long as both teams, as long as the losing team gets their 5th at bat.
Okay. That's how it works.
Okay, so it looks like Bloom coming in to pitch,
Mm-hmm.
and it looks like Zeitz is probably going to go back to first base. So now we're seeing a lefty.
And he'll come in to face J-Ray, Jonathan. Lay down a sacrifice bunt in the 2nd. Reached on an error twice, actually, in the 4th. Yep. Stole a base and scored a run one of those times.
I forgot he reached on an error twice in the second.
Yeah. All right, so Dom, who's Bloom throw like?
I gotta look again.
Rogelio Moret.
I don't know that one at all.
Remember him?
I don't.
What?
No.
Number 29, slender. He doesn't throw like him. Slender left-handed pitcher for the Boston Red Sox.
Really?
Mm. Okay.
Wow.
What year was that?
How much older than I am?
What year was that?
I thought he threw in the 70s.
Okay, so I go back to the Tom Bergmeyer days. Anything, before that, I really don't know much. So. late 70s.
Tom Bergmeyer came from either the Twins or the White Sox when he came to the Red Sox.
Yep.
Let's see if I can do a little research here. I've got Cesar Tovar into the broadcast. Now it's Rogelio Moret.
Al, speaking of the White Sox.
So Reyes ground ball over to short. The shortstop has it on the second. Got him, and Bloom just one pitch is all he needs to get out of the inning. Panthers score 2 more times, though, and on to the top of the 6th, 8-0 Beverly.
So speaking of White Sox, my first baseball glove, Al, was a Don Kessinger model.
Okay.
I had a Stratomatic baseball game where he was.
Oh, I loved Stratomatic.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, best.
Hard to find now. You know, I looked for it a few years ago, and it's really hard to find an actual Stratomatic game that's not going to cost you like $500.
What do you mean? You can't just go on their website?
It's not. It's hard to find anything. I mean, I did get it from, I think it was their website.
Okay.
But it was a small thing, and it wasn't like a whole league kind of thing. It was only a handful of teams.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think you have to buy the cards separately.
Yeah.
Because obviously they come out with new cards every year.
Sure.
So.
Yeah.
I still buy season league season cards.
Could also be I didn't want to spend that much money.
No, I
Just
get that. I get that.
That's more likely.
I don't really play it anymore, but I actually buy the cards still
Do you?
sometimes just to see.
Yeah, so it was a red, white, and blue baseball glove.
Oh.
It was given to me by my neighbor,
Ooh.
who happened to be left-handed. And I had all right-handed brothers, so there were no gloves to pass down. So
That makes sense.
everything else was hand-me-downs, but the glove I was able to get my own glove that was not used by any of my brothers.
All right. The last time I bought cards, I bought 2018 because I loved that Red Sox team.
Well, speaking of Red Sox teams,
Yes.
Rogelio Roger Moret from Puerto Rico.
You know, actually, now you say it, the name does sound.
He played in MLB from 70 to 76, a year off, and then back in 78. I do remember he had a weird episode where he went into a catatonic state.
Really?
And I wonder if that's the year that he missed.
Probably
Numbers
was.
were pretty good, 47 and 27 with a 3.66 ERA and 408 strikeouts. And he pitched from he might have been on the 75 team when the Red Sox went to the World
Yeah, well,
Series.
it sounds like it.
Okay.
70 to 75, 76 with the Braves, and 77-78 season with the Texas Rangers.
Like I said, you know, my thing, you know, Tom Bergmeyer is that first guy, and it was probably just after Moret had left. Bergmeyer, I think, came in around 78 or something.
What's the count on him?
1 and 2.
1 and 2.
Okay.
Got an autographed baseball from Mike Torres when he was with the Red Sox.
Oh. Bucky bleeping dead, Mike Torres?
Yeah.
Yep, he
Oh, we
got
called
it.
that a strike.
Oh,
that was
he
not a very emphatic strike 3
No,
that time.
no.
But Gavin painting the outside corner for strike 3, and I believe that's either 4 or 5 straight guys.
That's 5.
5 straight have been set down by way of the K for Graham Gavin. That one takes off on him as he works to the 9th hitter in this lineup, Riley.
Riley's got 1 at-bat so far. He was one of those victims of the K by Gavin.
Missing on that one as well, so 2-0. Gavin will take a minute here after misfiring on 2 straight and walk around, get his senses back. Obviously, with an 8-run lead, you don't want to be walking the number 9 hitter in a lineup. And he just pours one in there that Riley swings and misses at.
That was like he hurt you.
Listen, it doesn't matter what year it is, the level. There are some things that just don't change about pitching, and that is one of them. With an 8-run lead, you don't want to be walking anyone.
Just those strikes.
Much less the number 9 hitter in the lineup.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss. Is that 2-2 or 3-2?
Full count.
Full count, okay.
Or at least I think so.
The full count offering from Gavin. Swung on and missed, strike 3. 6 straight set down by way of the K now for Graham.
Which gets him into double digits, 10 for the game.
It's funny how quick he can start racking them up, because like we mentioned through the first at least 2 innings, we're like, man, he is pitching a contact way more today. And now we look up here, there's 2 outs in the 6th inning, and he has double-digit punch-outs again. Coming into the day, 29 punch-outs through 14 of the 3rd innings for Graham. There's a strike as well.
0-2.
Yep. Graham looking to get another one and make sure that K-9 ratio stays right where it was to start today.
No,
and there he did.
Yep.
7 straight for Graham Gavin, who has been nothing short of marvelous so far this afternoon. And now on
70.
to the bottom of the 6th inning, 8-0. Beverly in front.
And at this point, we're not really worried too much about the pitch count.
No.
He's at 70 right now.
And as we said earlier, Graham has just faced 1 over the minimum.
Mm-hmm.
We've had a batter reach on a walk and a batter reach on an error.
On a what?
Error.
And that error was cut down when
picked him
Gam
up.
picked him up. So
That's why he's only 1 over instead of 2.
And Graham actually got the put out
Mm-hmm.
on that play. So Graham right now is sitting on the bench like, can we just get this inning through because I'm kind of grooving. And
Yeah, why don't you guys just stay up and let me throw the 7th as well? And
I mean, if they score 2 runs, the game's over, though.
that's true.
True.
And then do you get credit?
You do.
Okay. Well, obviously, you know what I mean. You know, in MLB,
Yeah,
no matter
yeah,
what, it's
yeah,
9 innings, so.
Not exactly Chris Sale, but this motion is very similar to Chris Sale.
I could see that.
More the legs than the arm movement.
Yeah, the
The
arm
way he
slot.
kinda
The
goes
arm
off to
slot
the
is.
side,
Yeah, the arm slot is not. But yeah,
Yeah,
I get what you mean. The beginning of it certainly is.
Yeah. How he swings his leg and where he lands with that leg.
We have a pinch hitter up right now, guys. Or
Looks
who's is this Will Blank, or I didn't catch the number. Trying to look at the stance. Got a number on them?
Number 9, it looks like.
All right, let me go to my roster here. Number 9, Will Blank. See,
Yep.
ex of the White Sox, I was able to recognize his batting stance.
Did he call that a strike?
I think it's 1 and 2, I think.
Yeah, I think it's 1 and 2. I think that's what I have too. That's true.
Yep.
So it's not 1 and 2.
No.
So maybe it's 2 and 2.
Well, 2 and 1.
Now it's 2 and 2.
2 and 2.
All right, the 2-2 coming from Bloom. Swing and a miss,
Sure.
strike 3.
Tag
Slaps the tag on him, and there's 1 gone here in the 6th.
And do we have another pinch hitter, or is Mike up?
I believe that's McManus.
Okay.
Lefty on lefty this time for Bloom as Micah McManus stands in.
Outside.
I would guess Micah is probably the one starting for you guys' game tomorrow.
I would venture to say you are correct.
Where they will be taking on the Danvers Falcons, I believe.
They are.
Yes.
Tomorrow, 4 or 4:30, guys.
I think
Good
it's
question.
4 tomorrow. tomorrow, I believe.
Just for everyone out there so they know the schedule, we believe 4 o'clock tomorrow, back here again. The Panthers will be taking on the Falcons from Danvers.
And again, just remember that tomorrow is Youth Night, Youth Day.
It's going to know who's going to
Youth
hit first.
afternoon.
The first
He's
base,
gonna beat that out.
Bloom did not get over there nearly in time, and McManus is going to beat it out.
Pick himself up a base hit.
He will indeed. That is his second hit of the game. And with a walk, he's 2 for 3 with an RBI today. Brings up Jonah Bellew. Jonah scored 2 runs, been hit, walked, and has a double.
I believe it is a 4 o'clock game tomorrow.
Yeah, I think the official game times were of 3 games with 3 different start times this week.
Wind sounds like it's picking up a little bit. Throw over there. Yeah, Jonah took one between the shoulder blades his last at bat.
And a number of guys for the Panthers who've had to just sort of wear it today. Fisher had a good one as well.
Yep. It's in there for a strike.
Oof.
Good hack.
Wow. Jonah took a big rip at that one. Swing and a miss. So down goes Jonah for the second out of the inning.
Second strikeout for Bloom.
Another pinch hitter.
Another pinch hitter, number 7. What you got there, Al?
I have. Is that
Going over.
Is that Nola? Let's see.
Let me look at, see if he puts his thing right here. That is
No, it's
Janest.
Maverick Janest. We saw him
So
pitch yesterday. We should
Maverick
have known that.
Janest now
For Danny.
pinch hitting for Danny Pierce. So some extra guys
Fouls that off.
getting some extra at bats here in an 8-0 game here in the last inning for the Panthers offense, most likely. In all likelihood.
We'll probably see Pierce re-enter at second. Fouls out. You know, the tough thing about the game yesterday against Andover, you pick up a little bit in the power rankings because it's a better team in the power rankings, right? Higher team, I should say. And then, but they lost by 4, which hurts you on the
Differential.
differential.
Well, that make that differential up today.
Yep. Yes,
Yeah.
they will.
And I don't know what the numbers are, because I know we've had this discussion. I'm not sure that what division you're in matters. I think what matters is what the number is, because it's still your opponent number.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Janest looks at one for strike 3. So Bloom gets 3 strikeouts there in the inning, and Graham Gavin will take the hill trying to finish off a complete game and snap the 4-game skid that the Panthers were on.
Adam at 19 pitches total, right?
Yes.
One pitch
One
last
and
inning
18,
and then
yeah.
18.
Yep.
All right. So
Good
let's hope we don't have to worry about a pitch count here.
No.
This inning.
Graham takes the hill in the 7th here with 70, according to me.
Yeah, that's about what I've got.
Things so far have worked out just the way you could have hoped, as we called Graham the stopper A guy that on your pitching staff at any point takes the hill, and no matter what's going on with your team, you feel like you have a great chance to win and stop any losing streak. Graham has done that so far today. Panthers also putting up 8 runs as well, so the offense continuing to pick up where it left off yesterday. And Gavin also being efficient through his entire time, trying to finish off a complete game for the Panthers, who have 3 games in 3 straight days, and help save the arms of the rest of the staff.
Yeah, our first outing at home that we had down at Balch, Graham was dominating late in the game and needed to come out for the last inning.
Yep.
So it's good to see him if he can complete the job here.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be facing 2, 3, and 4, the Sirocco brothers and Zeitz.
Yeah, not going to be easy, though, as you mentioned. He now has to go through sort of the heart of the order, up and in on a fastball.
Did he swing?
He did not.
He did
No,
not.
no,
Just
he didn't.
appeals to the...
We don't talk about it, Al, but he's trying to complete the job of more than just a complete game.
That's a strike. I think he called that a strike anyway. The umpire has lost the emphasis on his, on his signals.
Yeah, he has. We're missing down and away, and 2 and 1. Something Gavin has not been in a ton, which is behind in the count. And that one is lashed hard, and the right fielder keeps going over and
he
makes the catch.
Okay, making the catch. That's a run for that one.
And that was the hardest hit ball of the day, I think.
Oh, I think so, for sure. I did not see it well off the bat. I did not know exactly quite where it was.
Looked like it hung up there for Cal. And
Yeah, Cal McKay, a little bit of trouble, but in the end,
Yeah.
he was able to close in on it and make that play and 1 away here in the 7th.
It's only the second fly ball of the game. So the outs have either been ground outs or strikeouts for the most part.
yeah, he popped up to Connor Conley in the first inning. Sirocco did, and he just flew out. So he put 2 balls in the air.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was a pop out to second by his brother,
Mm-hmm.
his last at bat.
So the Sirocco's the only ones putting the ball in the air so far against Graham.
Again, that error was a ground ball as well. So
Mm-hmm.
Graham doing a nice job keeping the ball on the ground if he's not blowing it past guys.
That one lined
Another one.
over to second.
Here's
Couple of
To hurry.
bounces to Danny on the first. And
Another-
Graham now is 1 out away.
another 4-3. Danny Pierce been busy out there all day.
Yeah, that's his 4th ground ball and the 1 pop up.
Okay, so he's at 77 pitches right now, it seems.
So Zeist, the first baseman, also did a little bit of pitching as
Yeah.
well.
Zeiss has grounded out to second and struck out.
Ball low.
Mm-hmm.
Ground ball.
Ground ball over to
Jonathan
short.
Reyes.
Reyes has it,
Bobbles
bobbles it.
It's gonna- Okay, gonna keep it going.
Yep.
That'll go down as an error.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this next pitch should be about 80 for Graham.
So what does that put him now? 2 or 3 over the minimum? 3 over the minimum?
2.
2 over. Okay.
Two errors and a walk.
And 1 erased by the pick.
Yes.
Is that the
one
9th pitch? You have him at 79?
Yes. That's a strike. That 80 right there.
Bloom has grounded out to second and took a 3rd strike looking.
Mm-hmm.
Ground ball to Reyes.
Ground ball over to Reyes again, a little bit
Bobbles
slower.
it again,
Jonathan
bobbles that.
bobbles that one as well. So first and second now.
That was a slow roller. I think he felt he had to rush it to get to it.
I think so.
I think initially he might have been thinking the flip to second, but he wasn't going to be able to get that. And that forced him to rush it.
This will bring up the original starting pitcher. Is this Rodriguez still?
Yep.
Rodriguez was that walk.
Gavin nabs the outside corner.
Fly ball. It's going to avoid the cars.
Ooh,
Oh, that was
narrowly.
close. Narrowly is right.
Wow, out to the street. 2 strikes?
Yeah. I believe so. I think it's 0-2. Gavin, 1 strike away now from snapping this skid for the Panthers. Rodriguez will make them wait just a little longer. Two strikes on Rodriguez. Gavin trying to complete the shutout. Missing off the outer half.
That kind of looked like he overthrew that a little bit. He was trying to blow it by him, I think.
Yeah.
Not a bad idea, though.
Hasn't thrown many breaking balls today, has he?
No, he has not. He really hasn't needed to.
Rodriguez not going down
Rounded
easy.
foul, yeah. Rodriguez doing everything in his power to make Beverly wait just a little longer.
Yeah.
So the 2-strike offering once again now coming from Graham. He winds, fires, and lashed one foul again back towards the street.
Well, regardless of the outcome of this at-bat, he's got himself a club.
I know, right?
So you can hang your hat on that anyway.
All right, I'll stand up for this one. Let's try this again. Nope.
No call. I didn't give it to him.
Nope. He did not.
Runner on second's pretty active out there as well.
Could pick him off and end the game.
Yeah,
I know.
not now. Stop by Bellew.
Yeah, I think that's going to make it 3-2.
Yep.
I would go for the pickoff move right here. He's
I
probably going to
would
take
too.
off too
Yeah,
early.
he's going to be taking off.
3-2. He's been super aggressive.
Yeah.
If we get the play, put it on right here.
Yeah.
The full count offering now coming from Graham.
Not going to do
2 away already. Looks at one for ball 4.
4. That's a heck of an at-bat right there by Rodriguez.
Are they taking him out?
So he's at 90
I'm
pitches
just
now.
I'm probably just gonna settle him down.
Yeah.
I don't think Graham was particularly happy with at least 1, maybe 2 of those calls. I think he thought
Yeah.
he had one of them. And this is certainly the most adversity that Graham has faced in this game at all. He really has had no situation even close to this, actually,
Yeah.
now that I think about it. He might have had a guy at second base once or twice.
Yeah, and
Once.
that
That was the
guy,
guy got picked
got
off.
erased on the pickup.
And yeah, he quickly was erased not much later on the pickoff.
Graham's over 90 pitches now, so I don't know how much coach is going to let him go with the pitch count anyway. That's foul ball.
This is the right fielder, Mason.
There's
Strike 2. So 1-2 now on Mason.
Hands up
1
on
out
their feet.
away from trying to finish off a complete game shutout. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And
That's
Graham
tremendous.
Gavin has done it. He snaps the Panther losing streak, gets his complete game shutout, and has thrown a no-hitter.
Yeah, that's what we were trying to say, but not say
without
throughout
saying
the
it.
afternoon. And we saw Graham throw 6 innings of no-hit baseball against Winthrop in the home opener and came off due to the pitch count. But today he finishes the job, got a little sticky there in the 7th inning, but fantastic outing from Graham as he throws the no-no.
Yeah, Graham was everything advertised. We talk about someone who can stop a losing streak, and he certainly did that. And, I mean, listen, Panther offense made it easier, but it's 7 complete game, no-hit performance by Graham. And, Rich, I'll turn it over to you. Talk about more of this performance by Graham here today and by the Panther offense as well.
Well, you know, we've seen him at home twice, and he hasn't given up a hit
Yes.
in either of those games. We know he's a good pitcher. We know he's a strikeout guy. He started the game off without any strikeouts. Really, it took until the 6th batter, I think, of the game to get a strikeout. And, you know, he was pretty efficient. And, you know, that last inning, I mean, remember, he came into that last inning with what?
70 pitches.
70 pitches.
Yeah.
And he had to go a little bit longer than he had wanted to, you know. And so he had to figure it out, and, you know, he got himself in a little jam, and he got himself out of it. So we got some timely hitting when they needed it, get some crooked numbers in a couple of those innings, and, you know, you do what you got to do, and you look at Danvers tomorrow.
Yeah, indeed. And, yeah, so, guys, great ball game here for the Panthers, 8-0. The final player of the game for sure, Graham Gavin, a complete game, no-hit effort from Graham, and the Panthers get back in the win column and save this pitching staff for tomorrow against Danvers. And I don't know if you guys have any final thoughts here before I take us out here.
No, sir.
No.
Great to see the Panthers back in the left-hand column.
Indeed. So that'll do it for us here today. Dominic Lorenzano, Al Visnick, and Rich Francis. Al and Rich will both be back on the call, I believe, tomorrow against Danvers. I will not, but we'll see you guys again for Panther baseball tomorrow. Again, Beverly 8-0 over Saugus here today. Have a great rest of your evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good night.
We'll see you later.